Hey, we're John and Kelly at Solid Oaks RV Trail. Have you ever been curious on what to do with shoe storage?
We've had that problem in all 5 of our RVs, but finally for our 5th wheel, we came up with a solution that we're in love with. Take a look.
You raise the step, we can add a little more storage. Is remove the 4 screws holding the vents. Now, after removing these, I realized that there's not a whole lot of return air in the furnace. What you see is our command center. The holes that you see here and here, that's where our command center in the storage area mounts. So the only area for return air is this little gap right here and this gap right there. So I think I'm gonna widen this hole here. The stair treads are only held on by 4 screws, 1 on each corner. So I've already taken those out, and I've already taken a couple other things out. But you can see the stair tread comes out okay. I've already taken out what was maybe a 2x2 piece that supported this step right here, and I already removed that, but that was basically all the structure on the stairs. So we have all the space prepped. We're gonna put a kind of a wire mesh here for airflow to get to the furnace return. We're gonna put some vinyl down to just finish out the floor because the vinyl flooring from the manufacturer stopped. So we're gonna finish that out, and then we're gonna put a piece of paneling up behind the stair treads that will have a wallpaper pattern or vinyl pattern to it once we get finished. Started prepping my wood, and obviously I need the depth of the hinge to be cut. So I've had a couple of practices on a couple of spare pieces of wood. I'm using a 1/2-inch router bit, so I'm going to have to control the depth to get the middle depth that I need. And I've marked out my boards to accept the width and mark out the depth. So I'm going to do the deep part first, and I don't have a router table, so I'm going to have to do this by hand. But I think I can do that. I need just a little more width out of my 1/2-inch bit, because this is like 0.62 or something like that wide. So I'm going to have to widen that on my bit. So I still need to mark the width here. I have marked out all my locations of where the hinge will go, and I had to kind of set up this jig just to keep this board from moving while I cut it. But you can see all my marks are finished. I had to router this edge so that the wood had enough room to bend up. There's the final hinge installation. The original stair tread had little routed indentations for anti-slip. So we're going to replicate that, and I'm going to use a core box, a 1/2 inch core box rounded router bit. And I've set up a jig. My router, the center of the bit is 3 inches, so I'm going to cut that ridge every 2 inches. So I'm going to move this is just a circular saw guide, and I'm going to move that 2 inches per tread. So we'll see how we do that. So there we go. So we have 3 even, they're 2 inches apart, and I just used, if you notice, my clamps were just a bumper, so I remained consistent on the edge of the board. So all of these ends are consistent. So that's what the clamp was on the board. But so now we're ready for that. We're ready for stain and installation. So we are getting ready to put the steps back in our Cougar. Just wanted to update you on what we've done. So we found this pattern. We took all the carpet out and found this wallpaper at Lowe's. So we took the paneling that was replacing what was in there, and we just put the wallpaper, and we're going to do the same thing on the front of each tread. So you can see my wire mesh to allow air to go into the furnace area where it's installed. We found this random, the weights are just there to weigh down the floor. We found some random peel and stick flooring just to cover the floor that was in there. So that's we just stuck that down, and it's sort of drying. So I need to protect the wiring, and so I'm gonna try to figure out how to do that. And our next step is to put the first tread in. One thing that I have been working with, so I put the support board under, and then I screwed the back piece of the step down to it. But when I tested it out, I'm getting a rub. I'm gonna have to take the step and do a little sanding. We have the first tread on, and it's doing pretty good. I've also installed the feet, the support legs, and attached those. I had to, here's my solution to hide the wires, protect the wires. I just cut a piece of 1-inch conduit in half and just zip tied it, and that seemed to work really well. I cut a little piece of paneling to cover the hole. I took a little piece of angle iron and just secured the 2 feet to the walls, and I'm getting ready to install that last tread. So it came out pretty good. The last thing we need to do is just put some little felt bumpers on there, and then reattach our grates. All right, here's the finished product. So I put the vents back, the drawer, the treads open, and enclosed. We put some felt pads on it just to soften the tread on there. But as you can see, we got quite a bit of storage space. So that'll be a good place to put shoes or whatever.